What up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are today on day 7 of our free-to-play account here. Just same as usual here. Nothing too crazy going about. Just collecting all of our stuff here, leveling up all of our companions and things of that nature. Grabbing our skill stuff, grabbing our EXP, leveling relics. It's all basically the same stuff every day. Excuse me. This video ended up taking a lot longer to get fully recorded. This ended up being about a 2-hour video, unfortunately. And that's because at the end here, when we get to that point, we took forever to get our final S clear of hard mode of lava gear of the cinder dungeon here. Like, we got so much that we didn't get finished. Oh shoot, I goofed up something there. But anyways, don't worry about that side of it. For today though, we had a bunch of stuff we didn't finish that I noticed, like a couple areas that were a lot lower. We were able to punch up pretty high here today and get a lot of content done. We just did like a 190k zone right there, I think. Yeah, it's mostly just map clearing and doing as much as we can. We tried to get as far as we can, doing some companion levelings here, more relic stuff, all that good jazz. We did get invited at some point here to a crucible run, and we did that, got our crucible knocked out as we were in the process of doing our dungeons. I don't know what it is with the dungeons tonight, but it started out really fantastic, right? Really fantastic. Got first 3 done, no problem. The 4th one just took forever to get done. Here we are just knocking out arena though. We went ahead and did as much material realms as we can. Went ahead and did our ascent, grabbing all the daily stuff, collecting a couple emotes, things of that nature. Pilgrim Pass. Nothing's been bought still. I'm doing a couple refreshes here on the card. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't do all of them right away. We just did a handful just again to get some things going. We try to use our energy toward the end. So yeah, not quite doing that yet. We have 180. Trying to get that zone done, and I don't know if we ever did get that one done. I don't think we did. I think that's the one where we ended up stopping. It needs like 200 some thousand, like 210k or something like that. No, 200? Is it 200? Yeah, 200 or something like that. Either way, it needs a lot more power that I don't have quite yet. Here we are, just knocking out our dungeon runs, and once we get to this point, to a certain point of this, it's just going to be so many dungeon runs. So many runs here. We are speeding this up by almost 9 times simply because the sheer amount of time we spend just trying to get that final dungeon run was insane. It isn't crazy how much it took us to get to it. And it honestly felt like doing nightmare mode on Aqualis. Like for the Aqua Origin dungeon, I believe, the nightmare mode to get your divine piece. Like I pushed for like 4 hours to try and get my S runs in, and I eventually did. Don't get me wrong, I eventually did. But yeah. Oh, we did get Kells today, so we went ahead and got all our arena tokens. We got enough to do that, and then we got our 7-day trial thingy, little pass that you get as you start. Done, and we picked up Kells. Kells is, like I was saying, the most important one to pick up out of that chest, because you need to get, I think it's 60 shards or something like that to get Kells normally through arena, which you can only get 20 shards a week, right? So you think 3 weeks there of progress you're saving, and instead you're going to be buying those shards instead, and you're going to use that to evolve the Phantomon skill into mythic tier, or legendary, then mythic. And once it's mythic, you don't really have to worry too much about it after that, simply because you want to get it to mythic to be able to make it an adult. It gets an attack later on as an adult, where it has the ability to deal water damage and has a 50% chance to reduce the armor of the enemy it hits by 20%. 30 is Nyx Archon when you get it fully ramped up. For the mythic pets, what am I thinking here for mythic pets? Honestly, a lot. Oh my goodness. a lot of people will say go Nyx Archon, right? Because the defense down, it's like one of the better DPS pets. But I'm leaning more Aegis Wing, not only because I've used Aegis Wing a bunch on my Paladin, but Aegis Wing gives you a 20% accuracy buff, or 15%, sorry, it's not the upgraded version, but at the start, it gives you a 15% accuracy bonus and a 15% crit rate bonus for the entirety of the match after 3 rounds. You survive 3 rounds, you're going to get that. So having that accuracy and that crit rate is going to help us a lot, especially dealing with any kind of paladins or knights in future PvP zones, because the more accuracy you have, they have to have more block to be able to actually rebound you. So if you're thinking about ways to counter a knight or a paladin, run as much accuracy as you can. And more crit rate is always good because that means you're critting and doing more crit damage. So that's kind of why I'm leaning that way, as well as Aegis Wing also gives you a heal after those 3 rounds. Or, you know, if you take lethal damage, it'll heal you before the lethal damage can kill you. And all of that good jazz. So that's why I'm kind of leaning toward Aegis Wing in that instance, simply because of the other bonuses you get. Nyx Archon is fantastic, don't get me wrong. I think, though, as a general progression and just to make things a lot easier, Aegis Wing is going to be the one we choose. Now, it's probably going to be a while before we get Aegis Wing, simply because of how many draws you actually need. But with the strategies that I'm going to be using, I'm going to be buying the pet draws and stuff out of the different vendors that you can access it in. We will hopefully be able to have it before too long into Aqualis, right? There's already people in my server with it, and it's crazy. It truly, truly is pretty wild. But yeah, a lot of the video today is just going to be running this dungeon over and over and over, trying to get things. We had a bunch of AFKers and just people not healing at places, a bunch of B clears, A clears. Just really, really struggling to get that S clear. As you can see here, as you can see the footage in the background here, it's just wild. So I think I'm going to go ahead and let this play, maybe speed it up a little bit more just to kind of circumvent some stuff. I mean, it's only a 14 and a half minute video here today for this. Future plans, I kind of want to really take a deep dive into mage here, / sorcerer / archmage. I got an archmage buddy in my main server here that's running a particular setup. Like, you almost have to run it. It's the elemental mastery or synergy one, where you run 4 different elemental attacks to get damage bonus. Well, I'm curious about some other different interactions with some things. I'm kind of noticing a few skills that could be kind of cool, especially if you can get your effect hit rate up and actually proc some of the stuff more for PvE side of it, not really necessarily PvP. But there may be some pretty cool things you can do that I don't think a lot of people know about. And I haven't really looked up any videos, like build guides or anything like that for the mage. I do know that, you know, elemental mastery is a very big thing here for the mage, as well as you know, effect hit rate and stuff like that. Accuracy is also very, very good for anybody that's not playing a paladin and or a tank or any of that styleness, simply because you can then take care of, or at least have a better time against those types of enemies, especially if that tank isn't putting into a block rate. It's going to be really hard to build up enough accuracy later in the game. I mean, early on it shouldn't be too bad, but once we start getting access to a lot better gear that's dropping big block rate and actually focusing that, as a paladin, even before Hellhold, I had 115% shield or block rate. Like, I think I was sitting at like 128 when I was in battle, and, you know, 100 and another like 125 in block efficiency with the new skills that you get as a paladin. Like, it's really easy. I picked up a purple shield on my main. Really, really nice, surprisingly. And with it, it's giving me like almost 25% block rate by itself. So statically, I'm sitting at a little over 50%. I get 45% for my mythic active technique skill I have. And then I can get another 20% from a charm I have. Like, it's insane. Like, I'm sitting at well over 100% block rate, so everything is getting blocked and rebound. And with blocking, you get the damage reduction, and you can't crit against somebody who blocks. So that's like another thing to think about too. Like with that high crit rate, is be mindful about paladins. It'll work in a lot of other cases, but against paladins, make sure that you're being mindful of their block rate. If you have accuracy, you kind of circumvent that, and then they won't get a block off, and then you get the crit. So there's kind of a fine tuning and adjustments of your stats, and like being mindful of what you're going to be coming up against. More accuracy is always good no matter what, I think, in general, simply because it allows you to get things off more, maybe stuff like that. I don't know. I haven't really delved too much into that yet. When we start getting more and more into the later days of the account here for this one, then we can address that there. And I apologize, guys. I'm yawning quite a bit. It is like 3 in the morning, almost 4 in the morning actually. And I wasn't yawning up until now, but I'm talking a lot now, and that's causing excess oxygen to go to the brain, which is then in turn inducing yawns. So when you hear that brief pause, I'm actually yawning. I don't know if it's getting picked up on the mic or not, but yeah, it was a rough one tonight. I wasn't expecting this video to take near as long as it did, but I wanted to record everything and get the full video of start to finish for everything I do, right? The reason we wanted to push S rank so much is if it gives us 12 shards, right? We're now sitting just over 50 some shards. So come tomorrow's video, we should be able to get our second piece of Lavaborn gear, which is going to help us progress quite a bit, I think. We should be able to finish off the rest of Cinder, I think, and get into Aqualis when it drops. We have like a couple days before season 1 starts and Aqualis starts. So we're trying to make sure we get there. We used up quite a bit of our fruits here, all like 40 some of it, 50 of it, I think. Got a couple bosses. We got the mysterious merchant twice. He had a skill for like 1 point some K Donium. I wasn't going for it. I told him to kick rocks on that one, but then the secondary one had a relic, so I'll always pick up relics. Relics are always really, really good to invest in. That skill could have been useful, but I just didn't want to spend that much Donium on it. It just seemed like a lot. So I told him to kick rocks. We're going to get those skills naturally as we go anyways, and they're going to naturally just get leveled as we go, ranked up as we go. I know a lot of people are saying, especially early on, that once you hit your requirement for, let's say, your next class rank up, you should save all your skill draws. That is true to a certain point. It really depends on when and where, right? The pacing. Earlier on, yeah, just save them, because you're going to start reaching these plateaus here and reaching these next rank ups and stuff a lot faster, and the class changes a lot faster. You don't get class change till like level 84, 80 something when a qualis jumps out. So be mindful of that, right? We're in the 50s. So I say we can probably do another day or two of skill draws as we get them, and then start saving after that. Like once we start getting around mid 60s, we should probably start saving some, right? I don't think you have to go crazy, because once you're in season 1, you've got like 2 months basically before season 2. Like my main account's not on the main server, like the first servers, and we're sitting at another 2-ish weeks or so. I'm thinking before season 1 is done and we get season 2. But yeah, guys, a lot of the background video is just a dungeon, and it just took so long today. But we did get all of our clears and everything, so yeah, let this play out. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a good one, and I'll catch you guys in the next update video. Peace out.